Terri Kelly set off from Chicago on what was supposed to be a quick post-university gap year, but has stayed so far more than 3 decades. Having come to terms with the weather in County Antrim, it is now home where she works in public relations by day while writing a revenge thriller by night. First time reading for flash fiction Armagh. Her story tonight is called The Next Step. Terri Kelly.
I actually haven't got used to the weather. I was a lie. The next step. People always ask me the same thing. Where are you going? It's the wrong question, but how are they supposed to know? I smile, point forward and reply, that way. They think I'm joking, and sometimes I laugh along. On the boat from Liverpool, I meet an older woman who tells me stories of her life, of her family. Her gentleness flows over me, carrying me along, making my eyes feel heavy so that I fight to keep them open. Until she says to me, a young fellow like you, where are you going all alone? I scratch at my patchy beard, look out to sea. The gray waves are pushing us towards land. I turn to the woman to try to explain, but she's drifted away. As I step off the boat in Belfast, I'm greeted by a gentle breeze and the kind of drizzle that feels like a cold cloud welcoming me to this new city. I resist the urge to pull up my hood. I refuse to have rules in my life. I've left those behind, but I do have 2 principles to live by. Don't judge me, they're pretty lame. Principle number 1, feel everything. That includes rain, unfortunately, and I do feel it, trickling down my back, pooling in my waistband, and absorbing into my jeans. The fine spray gathers on my eyelashes, the water bubbling up, then gravity carries it down like tears. By the way, I don't have a mobile phone. This is not one of my principles. It's simply practical in that I don't have anywhere to charge it most of the time. But without Google Maps, I have no way of knowing how to get to the heart of this new city. So I watch the cavalcade of cars roll off the ferry, and I trail in the wake of the blinking red lights. I adjust the heavy pack on my back, wishing, not for the first time, that I had a lighter tent and a better sense of direction. I haven't planned where I'm going next, relying instead on a sketchy grip of geography imparted by an irritable secondary school teacher with terrible dandruff who the kids called Everest behind his back. When I started walking 112 days ago, I knew where I was and I didn't need directions, skirting around the familiar coastline. Now I don't know how far I've gone. If I had to guess, I'd say 15 miles a day, which would make it around 1,700 miles away from her. But not as a crow flies, so maybe that's not the right way to measure. The traffic from the boat is long gone as I trudge through the grim industrial landscape. Corrugated metal buildings that look like they were intended to be temporary, discarded remnants of machinery coated with rust, and partially paved over tram lines, harking back to a different time. The rain has stopped as I look at these falling apart relics, and I force myself to let her memory in, like shards of glass ripping through my chest. I take a deep breath, speeding up, my strides lengthening, carry me forward along this strange street. I don't know where I'm going. I am simply following principle number 2, keep moving. Now I am here, wherever that is.